I love to gamify my reading, and Melanor Reads created the perfect readathon for me to participate in this month and do exactly that. In this vlog, I will be participating in the Readathon Rebellion, which is a competitive board game, but we're all on the same team. We are trying to save our leader of the rebellion. She has been held hostage and we have to break in and save her. And enough of us have to get to that end point, enough of us have to rescue her so that we succeed in that goal, but in a team way that we're all on the same team. And I think that's a lot of fun. And I have to do my part to help everybody out. So it's pretty simple. There is just a board game that we roll on, and then each roll has not only a prompt, but a little bit of story added to it. And there are also 4 prompts that we have to do. I'll leave Mel's announcement video down below. You can participate in it any time in September. Honestly, if you're seeing this later, you probably could still participate in it because I do believe it'll be back next year. At least I'm gonna manifest it by telling everyone it is because I think it is so freaking cool. I have done my first roll, so let me show you it now. Even the board just looks so freaking cool. I really love how it was made, and I love that each stop has storyline to it. We ended up landing on training number 2, which does mean that I also went past objective 1, and so I do have to do objective 1 as well, but I can either do that as 2 books, so I can read a book for each prompt, or I can combine objective 1 with the prompt that I did land on. Objective 1 is it's going to take the very best to get the Silent Spectre out alive and to stay alive yourself. Gather a team that you trust to help you accomplish this mission. Make sure you choose wisely. And so our prompt is to read a book with 2 or more POVs, which is in pretty much everything I pick, so I probably will just add this on to my training number 2 prompt because I'm pretty sure that the book I pick for that will have multi-POV. Most of my books do. And for training number 2, the little storyline goes, you never know what is awaiting you as the Order of Sealies gets closer to taking down the ancestors. Each order has a special ability and each requires its own focus to hone. So we're kind of like going for a little bit of training, right, on what our abilities are. So in this one, I do have to pick my order because there's 3 orders and I haven't done that yet. The Hand, the Eye, the Heart. And truthfully, picking feels like a commitment for me and I'm having commitment issues because what if I pick the wrong one and then later down the line, I don't like that I picked that and I have to do a prompt I didn't want to do. This is really, really stressful and is having me have a hard time with this. The Hand is to read a book that you had to acquire, can be borrowing from KU, library, or physically purchasing something that required action not already owned. The Eye is to read a book featuring a supernatural element, and the Heart is to read a book featuring high emotion, romance, or grief are like kind of the examples. My brain is telling me to read The Battle Drum, which is the 2nd book in the Ending Fire trilogy. I literally just finished my 5-star audit vlog where I read the first book in this series and I gave it 5 stars, and I think this will be my new favorite series of all time. I'm literally obsessed with it, and this will fit both the Hand and the Heart part. I'm trying to think if there's any supernatural element. I don't count magic as supernatural, I don't think, because there is magic in it, but it's not like ghosts or anything like that, which is what I think of with supernatural, but maybe I'm wrong. What's the definition of supernatural? The supernatural refers to that which exists or occurs beyond the laws of nature or science, involving phenomena like magic, spirits, or divine intervention, and can also describe a superlative degree or something abnormal. So magic counts. So if I read the Battle Drum, it does count for all 3. So I could just blissfully continue on in my non-commitment ways, right? I don't think you're really supposed to do this, but I feel like me having to pick will mean that I am more stressed and I don't want that in my life. So I might do this. I do have to buy the Kindle edition of the Battle Drum, so it counts for that because I don't own it yet. I do own the Illumicate versions, but they're not in my house yet, and so I can't read them that way. So I will be buying it to read. I do have a hold on it from the library, but it's really, really, really far out. So I definitely think I will buy it because I would like to read it ASAP. So I could do that, but then also part of my brain wants to play Tiny Bookshop. Everyone has been screaming about Tiny Bookshop, and I'm like, well, an audiobook in my ears, my Switch, and playing Tiny Bookshop also sounds like kind of heavenly right now. But the Battle Drum is a physical book for me that is not going to be a Tiny Bookshop, like gaming while listening book. So I'm really torn on what to read even for this first roll. Too many options. I prefer when I only get one option. It's better for my brain. I'm just gonna update you with what I pick because right now I'm having decision paralysis. You're welcome for this ramble-y clip to start the vlog off. There's a loud truck outside. Why does filming hate me? What even is it? I'm just gonna hope you can hear it, and I'm so sorry if you can, because I need to get this clip filmed, because otherwise I will all of a sudden be 50% into this book and have not updated you at all. I am 100-ish pages into the Battle Drum. It's what I decided to go with. I still haven't picked my order. I've just decided that I'm going to read this if it's all of them, and if I have to pick it for a future prompt, I'll pick my order then, probably. So I reached part 2, and so we've got our initial setup in this one. This is the sequel to The Final Strife, which follows a world where we have 3 types of bloods. We have the red bloods, the blue bloods, and the clear bloods, and their society is like tier ranked, so the red bloods are on top, and then we have the blue bloods, and then we have the clear bloods, which are essentially like slaves, and there's essentially a rebellion within it. So the whole like plot line is that a rebellious group decided to break into the keeps of the red blood, which are the high up in society blood type, steal their babies and replace them with blue-blooded babies, and take the red-blooded babies and then raise the red blood baby as a blue blood in poverty, with prejudice, with racism around, in order to one day rebel and join like this trial that any red blood can compete in as long as you have red blood, to become the next ruler of society, essentially. So they're essentially like raising these red bloods to be the next ruler but have a blue blood heart, and it was a really, really beautiful book 1. I'm obsessed with book 1. I literally just read it. It's in my last vlog where I did my 5-star audit. I gave it 5 stars, so I was very excited to continue on in the series, and I'm loving book 2 just as much. I think it's a slower start. Our characters are separated again, and that's not always my favorite thing, but I think I'm enjoying it so far because the world is just expanding so much from book 1. We essentially follow 3 POVs. We follow our red blood, who is one of the stolen, one of those red bloods that was raised as a blue blood. We follow the blue blood that was put in her place, so raised by a red blood in society, and then we also follow a clear blood. It's a very beautiful way the story is told, in my opinion, because you see all the different prejudices and things like that. I really, really loved it, but we've actually added an extra POV from somewhere completely different, and that has really expanded the world, and I'm really intrigued how that's going to blend together with everything else, which has me really interested. Our one POV is off just essentially exploring, and normally I hate an exploring POV, but because it's like really opening the world as well, and we're learning as she learns the world, I've really enjoyed it. And then our other POV has set up like a murder mystery in the court, and I am eating that up as well, and seeing her struggle and balance her wants for the world, how she wants to change it, with how the world currently is and the other people in power, and how she can't just make decisions by herself, has been really interesting. I'm definitely intrigued. I'm interested to learn more about society and all the different cultures. I think this book just feels so well developed because every type of blood has its own culture to it, which I think is also a very interesting discussion, how you come together, how things change, how your culture changes due to prejudice, due to your place in society, things like that. And there's also just really deep discussions on so much that is really, really heavy hitting in my opinion, but it's done so well, and also has this value of escapism with the magic system being so well done, with the politics and it feeling so intricate as a fantasy setting. Chef's kiss. I'm really, really enjoying this, but I think today I'm gonna go to IKEA. Nick and me move out in 17 days. We get possession of our new house, and recently when my friends were here, I stayed at my sister's house and I realized I did not buy enough dishes, because my sister is one person and she has 6 plates and 6 bowls. Like, she does 6 of everything. I bought 8 of everything because there's 2 of us. I think I want 10, so I think I want to go buy an extra 2 dishes of everything, and then maybe also look at some other pieces and stuff, because I don't have everything I need, not at all, but I think 10 would be better than 8. I feel like I was constantly having to do dishes at my sister's house, which is not what I want personally. I was out of dishes a lot. I cook a lot. I'm a hoster. Like, I want to have friends over. I want to be able to do that and not be like stressed about my dishes. So, or like washing things by hands because I need a plate for dinner, so I have to wash a plate. I know not everyone needs a lot of plates. I was on Reddit trying to figure out, and honestly, depending on who you are, you needed like 2 plates per person, and some people were like 4 plates per person. In my mind, Nick and me both work from home, so every single day we'll use a breakfast, lunch, and dinner plate times 2. So 6 plates easily used every single day. And so like, what if we don't wash the dishes one night? Like, what if we forget to run the dishwasher? Then we have to wash things by hands the next day. And that sounds kind of awful to me. So I think I need more dishes. 10 or 12? That is the question. Probably just 10, because we have small plates too. Like, we have big plates and small plates. I don't know. I'm gonna go to IKEA because that's where I got my plates from. I'm very happy with them. I can't wait. It's very exciting that we move so soon, but also very nerve-wracking. Gonna go listen. Okay, IKEA was a bust. I ended up not even buying the plates that I wanted more of just because there were such long lines today, and IKEA is like 5 minutes from my house, and I know that me and Nick have to come here like once we get the house because I'm buying brand new bookshelves because I don't have enough. I only have like 2 and they're the wrong color. They don't make that color anymore. So I'll be coming here like pretty early on to get like 7 Billy bookshelves, and there's a carpet I want and garbage cans and stuff, but I just want to know like what color we're going for in the house in those rooms before I like buy them. So I was like, I'll just get the plates then. They're adding more of like different colors of that style of plate, so I don't think they're gonna like get rid of them anytime soon. So I think I'm gonna go to Crate and Barrel now because they're more expensive, but I know online there are some like cream dishes that I really liked. I want like serving platters that are cream, I think. So I think that's my plan. I did listen to my audiobook the entire time, but I might invite my sister to Crate and Barrel. Well, maybe I'll go by myself. I'm more likely to buy something by myself. Do I want to spend money today, or do I want someone to look over my shoulder and hold me responsible? Well, I just drove by and I saw that this is closing. So 60% off sale. Guess I'm stopping here. Perfect timing. How did you know I was moving? Wait, this is fun. It just slides. I am obsessed with this table, but it doesn't expand. So I don't think it'll work. I'm trying to convince Nick into buying these chairs. I love the tone. I just finished filming my August wrap up and then a like ultimate fantasy romance recommendation video, I guess is what I should call it. I think they will be up before this because I'm nowhere near close to being done reading, but now I'm surrounded by like 27 books on the ground that I need to put away. But I do listen to audiobooks while I am putting books away, grabbing books from my shelves, or like filming thumbnail pictures, just not when I'm doing like the filming aspect. So I've made it pretty far between this and also yesterday's adventures, which I did end up buying 2 things. I went to Crate and Barrel and I bought 2 things. I have pictures of them here, just like 2 good size like mixing bowls and then a platter as well. I made it to chapter 24, which is in part 3, so I think I'm like 50% in. I think I don't love this book as much as book 1. I'm still having a good time. I'm still feeling like a 4-star essentially, but it doesn't give me that like absolute 5-star feeling, although I think it just has a little bit of middle book syndrome and specifically setup of the middle book as well. I think the ending half could like knock it out of the park for me. We're just really following characters in different parts of the world, and my problem is we're mostly still in the head of characters I don't care as much about. We've also gone away from having 3 POVs. I will say in the first book, every once in a while we do get a mix-in of a random POV, but we've definitely seen more of that in this book and more consistency in who we're getting. But I really just want to be back at the murder mystery constantly. Like, that's what I'm interested in. But I understand that we're just expanding the world so much in this one that it's hard for me to like be as invested because like I really care about what was going on in the part of the world that we were already in. But I'm also interested for the expansiveness of the world, so I'm okay with the middle book syndrome also. So like it's a hard balance, and I could see myself loving this by the end. I'm still having an absolute fantastic time, and I'm predicting that even if I give this one 4 stars, the last one will be 5 stars, but we will see. Back to putting books away. Like, look how empty this shelf looks. I literally pulled off like every romantasy off my shelves. I've been listening to the audiobook clearly. I made it to part 4, so I think it's about another like 70 pages in since last time I updated you. Oh, I'm a little overexposed. Let me fix that. I'm definitely liking this one, but I think that I like it less, which I've already said. I think it expanded to a point at this moment in time that I didn't care about. I was really much into the rebellion aspect of book 1, and we have gone away from that in a couple POVs in this one. I care a lot more about the people at the location that we learned about in book 1, not necessarily the rest of the world. There's a character that has really grown on me though, who is in the rest of the world, that I'm like, I'm glad that you didn't kill them, because I was mad at you for not doing that in book 1. So that's fun. I also have been really liking a romance that was established in this one between, I'm gonna say 2 servants. I'm trying to be not spoilerish at all, but if you've read them, I'm also trying to have a conversation with you, so like it's a pretty hard balance sometimes to do. I have predictions based on the messiness of the timeline. I don't think that the timeline is proper in this. I don't think that we're following a set timeline. So So I'm intrigued about that. I could be wrong about that, but I just have a character that I think is connected to another character, and the way that makes the most sense in my brain is the timeline not being cohesive, but I actually could be wrong and maybe they connect in another way. Really, my prediction is about that character. I'm intrigued still to see where this goes, but I'm not like absolutely obsessed with it the way I was book 1, which is okay. Middle book syndrome is a thing, sadly. What else should I talk about? The other thing that is not helping this book is that I'm re-addicted to Don't Starve Together, which I played a while ago. It's like a co-op survival game. You actually can play it by yourself. I think I'm going to play it by myself this afternoon and listen to an audiobook because I think I'll be able to do that. And we've been playing it at evenings and it's just like so much fun. Like I lose hours to this game so easily. I feel like I've been playing for like 2 hours and it's actually been like 6, and it's just a lot of fun. I've been playing it with a bunch of friends and having a great time. I have been addicted to games this year and it's been so incredible. I don't always stream them. I stream sometimes on Twitch, but that's just kind of been more of like a hobby thing for me to do when I was in the mood to like play games and interact with a lot of you. But sometimes I just want to play games by myself or with like a select group of friends and not have to talk to chat or like worry about what I look like or like whatever. But it's been so fun to be addicted to games. It's been so fun to find new games I'm obsessed with, and Don't Starve Together I was obsessed with back when we played in like January, and then Phasmophobia just took over, and just like recently we've gotten back obsessed with it, and I am so obsessive. Like my personality is just so obsessive that I watch videos on it. I want to play it at all times. Like I can't think of anything else right now besides the fact that I want to make it to day 100 and Don't Starve Together. I have like 7 saves open because whoever's willing to play with me, I'm like, please play, because it is more fun with people in my opinion. But I'm going to try to audiobook and play. I think I would love to get this audiobook done. It's taking me so long, and that's a me problem, not a book problem. I'm still really enjoying this book, but it's definitely a me problem. I'm really slouching in this clip. Like sit up straight. It's also still overexposed. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm gonna go put a sweater on after this anyways. Be cozy in my basement. It's just hot upstairs. So yeah, that's all. I didn't have a lot to say. I'm probably gonna update you once it's over now. I feel like I've been updating you at every single part and I'm struggling with what to say because I'm just like enjoying this along for the ride, you know? So there's that. Bye bye. I just finished. How am I supposed to move on from this? This book. Oh my god, why am I crying so much? It's so cruel. It hurts. I think I'm giving it 5 stars. It was a 4-star, but this ending, I can't stop crying. Like, I feel so emotional, specifically for the characters. I think that's like such a strong version of this book, like a strong thing on this book, is that I'm not crying necessarily because of what happened, but I'm crying because of how the characters feel about what happened and how I know it's going to affect them. And it's it's so cruel, but it's also just so beautifully written and done and emotional and overwhelmingly, oh god. I need to stop crying. I've been crying for like the last 30 minutes of this book. I literally logged on to play Stardew Valley and just started bawling my eyes out. This is the second time I've cried in this book too. And so I thought it was a 4-star book, truly, but leading up to that end and that ending for me and how emotional I feel and how excited I am for book 3, I think I'm giving it 5 stars. It's definitely a setup book. It's definitely a journey story, which I didn't love. Like, it's definitely not my favorite story. It has some middle book syndrome, but I think that it set up the story so well. Maybe I'll stop on my 5-star. Maybe I won't give it 5-star right away. Maybe I need to sit on it. I think I need to sit on it because like my initial reaction right now is to give it 5 stars. I'm taking these off because of just like how emotional I am, but I probably should sit on it and let like the emotions kind of like dissipate and like mellow them out a little bit. Oh god. So I'll come back to you probably in this vlog or in my wrap up to tell you what I actually gave it. It'll be a 4 or a 5. Like there's no way it's less than a 4, just because I do think it was a setup book. It did have middle book syndrome, but I am so excited for where book 3 is going to take me. Oh god. There's so many like reveals and it was so fun to like have theories in this one as well. I think this would be a really good series to read with a book club or with friends because I definitely was theorizing in my head throughout this one and I just had no one really to talk to about my theories. I have done another roll. I actually did it last night in case I wanted to start it, but I didn't start. I did a digital roll and I rolled 9. So I ended up on side quest 3, I believe. I've been doing my quests in order because there is story, and so anytime I get to like a thing, I just read everything previous to it because I like to like hear the story as I'm reading through. This prompt is to steal a book from someone else's TBR. I forget what the story is at this moment in time. I'm too emotional to really think right now. Like I literally might just go cry for a little bit in my bed. I think I'm going to steal A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly off of Mel's TBR because it is our book club read for the month, so I need to start that. And I think it'll be a good change of pace from this because this is too much for me currently. I need to get to book 3 soon though because I need to continue to feel this way. I can't. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm a mess. I'm so sorry. I'll be in a better space next time. The ending of this was just so emotionally overwhelming. Okay, see you soon. I'm gonna order lunch maybe for myself. Well, no, I have soup, but I deserve something. I deserve a snack, a treat of some sort. Okay, I'm doing a little bit better than I was earlier, obviously. I have gone for dinner. We went for sushi for my sister's birthday tonight, so that was delicious, and I figured I needed to update you on A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly is what I decided to pick up. I'm not loving this. You know what, coming off the high of what I just came off is always really hard in my opinion. Like, reading something after such an emotional interaction with a book makes the next book like harder to pick. I honestly wasn't expecting to love this just from everything I heard from Mel. She is someone who we tend to have similar thoughts and taste in stories, so her complaints I assumed would also be my complaints, but it's our book club pick, so I need to read it. I'm actually pretty far. I got 30% in today. I'm just listening to the audiobook. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling nothing. I am feeling literally zero feelings about this. It sucks because I've seen it hyped everywhere. I've seen so many people freaking out about it being the next big thing. I don't know if I like Fae Romantasy. I feel like they're all same font, different colors. Like, it's giving An Air Comes to Rise, the one by S.M. Gaither that I can't remember the title of. Like, it's all just so similar to me. Long Lost Heir. At least I'm assuming this is the Long Lost Heir trope. I don't actually know. But like, I don't know. Like, it's not giving me anything new, and it's not giving me like utter passion either. I didn't even know that the romance character was the romance character. I thought it was a romance with another guy. I'm not feeling this. I feel like they're giving flat. They're not giving any good energy for me. Like, I truly just don't seem to care. And I'm not invested in the whole plot line either. And it's doing a thing that I really hate when books do, where like a lot of times things come up but they won't tell me. Oh, there's this thing in my past that happened, but I can't share what it is. But then it's brought up multiple times being like, it really affected me, but I can't share what it is. And I think it's going for big plot twist, big reveal, big shock moment value at the end. I don't like shock value moments in my books. I don't. I like to be shocked, but I don't like when it's just set up to be like, oh my god, gasp, without like proof in the pudding, you know? And so I'm struggling with that. I'm gonna continue it. It's a really easy audiobook to listen to. I've just been listening to it in gaming, and I think I'm gonna go do that in bed a little bit. But I definitely have not found myself super invested. But hopefully when the trials start, that'll change, because I do typically like trials a lot, so that's what I'm hoping for. Sorry that I'm changing colors. I left my TV on, and it has like a screensaver of things, and when I forget to turn it off, I change colors when I film in front of it. See you later. How to put this nicely? I have no idea what's going on in this book. I think I'm 75% in, and I've decided to DNF. I am honestly so utterly proud of myself right now. I rarely DNF when I am this close to the end. But I looked, and I still have 2.5 hours of listening time, and I do not care. I'm not invested into our main character because I don't really understand her motivations. I don't really understand the motivations of the 2 other characters. I don't really know who I'm supposed to be rooting for. I feel like our author is trying to make the love interest both of them, and in doing so has failed miserably at it because I don't care about either of them. So I'm DNFing. I'm going to bless and release. I'm going to move on to bigger, better things. This is so incredibly sad because it's such a loved book. I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing it blow up on TikTok. People like binge reading the whole series. I don't think it brings anything new to the genre. I said in my Discord that books that I felt were very similar in like my feelings towards were An Air Comes to Rise, The Song of the Marked, Riftborn. I just couldn't connect to any of the characters in them, and often just didn't care about the relationships or anything like that in all of those books. I didn't feel like they brought anything new too romantic-y, and I just felt like it was the same old story over and over again. And I will say time and time again that a book does not need to be revolutionary. It does not need to be bringing new things. We're in a time and age where everything is very like repeated. Original content is very hard to do. But if I am not invested into the characters, I do want a uniqueness. Like, I think that I really, really struggle with books that feel very repeat of other books when I'm not invested in the characters. It's really all about the characters. So I am going to DNF this, but if you have liked any of the books I said, maybe give it a try. My personal thought is people have said there were trials in this, and there are, but not the type of trials that I like. They were very much more about putting the characters into a room and having the characters interact more than like an action-packed thing they had to get through. They like went into a cabin with no food and they had to like all survive together, and I think that the trials felt very all together than just like one person. And I do love in trial books when they gang up and they all are like, oh, let's work together to get through this trial. But I want the trials, I think, to be more orientated to one person passing and then we see them come together, if that makes sense. This just wasn't my preferred type of trials when I think trials, I guess. But other than that, I don't really have a lot to say about it. I'm gonna do another roll. This is blinking, so I think I'm just gonna do it on my phone, and then I have no idea what I'm going to pick for it, and I'll update you later. I do know that I'm going to end up landing on objective 2 in this, or like past it, so my newest book will have to have both of them. Objective 2 is that now that you have a team in place, it's time to make a plan. You know the Silent Spectre is in the hands of the ancestors, but you're not sure where she's currently being held. Send out some of your best hearts to be persuasive and gather information. Oh god, this one is the social media scroll. Read the first book you come across on your TBR on your social media of choice. I hate this prompt. I'm sorry, Mel. I hate it. I'm too much of a mood reader, so I'm probably going to be a little bit more flexible about this one. And what is my TBR? Because my TBR is just anything I've ever wanted to read. So there is that, but I will do a social media scroll. And I'm also going to roll really quickly. Okay. 6. I wanted something longer than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Info gathering. Finally, someone has reported back with something useful. You've been told she's being held in the depths of the Ancestors Mountain. While the mountain is quite obvious, it is rather tall, you know. Exactly where the dungeons are and how to get in it is a bit trickier. Thankfully, there are a few eyes in the order with ghosts that used to reside there. They'll do some sleuthing and report back. Read a book involving secrets. That's pretty open-ended. Pretty much anything I read has some sort of secret in it. Long lost heirs, secret magic, maybe she's half fae and no one can know. So, whatever my social media scroll says will probably work for it. That's really scary. Okay. I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but I did cheat on this prompt. Listen, I'm a mood reader through and through. No part of me wants to have to scroll social media and just read the first thing I see. That sounds absolutely awful to me. And so I was just sitting here not wanting to do this prompt. I was like trying to figure out a workaround around it. Like I was like, how do I do this? How can I cheat the system? Like, what do I want to read? Like, how can I find that? Like, I'm just not this person that can do a prompt like this. And I've always preached when it comes to readathons, they're supposed to be fun. You're supposed to make them work for you. So I was like, how can I interpret this prompt a little bit differently? So I decided to take it as something I've heard a lot about on social media, something really hyped on the internet. And I decided to pick up Dungeon Crawl Carl because this is everywhere. And I swear everyone loves it. I thought it worked well. Like, it's not the first thing I saw on social media, but I know if I went on social media, I would see people talking about it at some point because so many of my mutuals are reading it and talking about it. And I've seen so many people love it. So I felt like that was like a good like blending point to the prompt and how I like to read and how I like to participate in things. I'm just not someone who wants to be told a book. Like, I can't just go on Goodreads and read my highest rated book. That's not me. I very much am a mood reader, and that really depends on what I want to read. That depends how I enjoy the book, things like that. And I just like can't force myself to read something that I don't want to read at that moment. It could be a book that I'm interested in reading. Like, obviously it's still on your TBR, but like there's some things I'm not in the mood for in the moment, you know? I don't know if that makes sense to people who are not mood mood readers, but I feel like if you're a mood reader, you will understand. So I'm on chapter 7 of Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's about 55-ish pages in. I was hesitant. Going into this, I had just heard everyone love it, so I was like, I want to give it a try, and maybe I will love it, and I feel like I was in a place that I've been wanting more like fantasy leaning and things like that, so I was like, this is a good spot for me to pick it up. I'm not as in a romantasy mood as I can be. The first couple chapters, I was like, why do people love this? I was really skeptical. I went into this knowing absolutely nothing, but I was definitely skeptical, and I was like, there's so much suspending of disbelief that I was really struggling. I wanted to know more about what happened, why it happened, how it happened, which is really just me as a reader wanting to know everything. Like, I love to know the nitty-gritty details about things like that. But once I accepted it, once I was just like, okay, we're not getting that. Suspend your disbelief. The world is destroyed. Within seconds, they've created these dungeons. There's someone talking in your head within like 5 seconds of this. Just commit to the bit. And then I really got invested. This feels like a video game. So essentially in the story, aliens are taking over our planet, I guess. They're like mining our planet and they've destroyed the planet. And they open these dungeons, which are just like different floors in the world that are essentially a video game. Like, you're essentially being a dungeon crawler, which is like a type of video game. And you have to survive those, and there's like people watching. It's reality TV. It's the movie The Running Man. There's a remake coming out of it that I'm actually really excited to watch. It's literally that, but also with video game aspects to it, because there's like points for strength and dexterity and things like that. So if you are a video game lover, I think you could really enjoy this. And I am in a video game era of my life. I don't think I would have appreciated this as much before I got into video games, before I've played video games, where as I'm doing things, my strength is upgrading, or I have to pick where my stats go. I'm opening achievement boxes and being excited for what's in them. I understand why gamers really like this. It feels like a book game, and I do enjoy it for that aspect. There's like pop-ups in his head. Like, if the screen was my head, there'd be like a pop-up right here being like, new achievement unlocked, you received this, or like a map that you can look at and you can just do it mentally, and it's like your screen when playing a video game, which I think is really cool. So I have been really enjoying that. I think the snarky humor isn't my favorite. I'm hoping that it kind of goes bye-bye, but every time we get a reward that doesn't really matter, I'm like, I didn't need to hear that. Like, we'll get a reward and it'll be like, we'll just have like some snarky bit of humor being like, being a good guy is all the reward you need, or things like that, and I didn't really need to hear those parts. And I'm a little nervous for Princess Donut, because sometimes I can find a very humor-forward animal companion can get really annoying for me if they're just comedic relief. I'm not typically a comedic relief character lover. I think they're necessary, but they're never my favorite characters. And if their entire personality is comedic relief, that's when I have an issue. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. I really just kind of got to Princess Donut. So I have like hesitations, but also I am greatly enjoying this past the point that I thought I was. Like, I want to read it. I don't want to put it down. And so like, I think that's overall exciting, because I was nervous and now I'm getting it. I'm like, this is why everybody loves this book. Like, I see it. Like, there's some charm in it. There's some uniqueness in it. And if you play video games, you will like appreciate, I think, what it's trying to do here. And I'm excited for the setup of the overall series. I do think it's like a 7-book long series that's not even done yet, so that scares me a little bit too. I do want longer series, but longer series with purpose. And I'm a little bit nervous this isn't gonna have purpose, but maybe I'll just enjoy it and not care. So yeah, that's my initial thoughts. I'm gonna keep reading, keep listening. I'm kind of switching back between the ebook and the audiobook. I'm not sure I love the audiobook, which is kind of crazy because I feel like everyone has raved about it, but I think the voice used for Princess Donut and the announcements is not my favorite, and kind of adds to me not liking that like snarky comedic relief element. So I think I do prefer the ebook currently, but maybe I'll get used to it a little bit and then it won't bother me, but that's just like my first initial thought. But yeah, excited that I am liking it. There's something really interesting about this book for me that kind of reminds me of like zombie shows or zombie books, things like The Walking Dead. What I'm finding interesting about this story is not the actual concept itself, not even like the characters itself, but I think it's the in-between moments where you see how humans act, how humans are different under pressure. It's about humanity more than it is about like the creatures or the thing going on. So for example, why I think it reminds me of The Walking Dead is, yes, the zombies are like a horror element, but the farther you get into the comics, the farther you get into the TV show, the more you realize the actual terrifying villains are not the zombies. It's the people who have turned to like darkness, I'm gonna say. It's like the people who have turned against humanity. It's the people who have decided to go off and just kill people. It's the people who got rid of their empathy and how they broke down in the zombie apocalypse. And I think this book is also doing that for me, and every time I hit one of those moments, I really, really like the book. I do think it's shrouded in a little bit of like repetitiveness and stuff that I don't love. For example, there'll be like an end of a chapter and it'll be like, we got to a safe spot. And then the next chapter's title will be safe spot. And the first line of the next chapter will be like, we're entering the safe spot. And I'm like, okay, we could have cut that down. An editor could have really clearly made that feel way smoother than it did. There are like things like that that are taking me out of my enjoyment of this story, but overall I'm still enjoying it. And when I get those moments that I talked about, I love them. I'm eating them up every single time. I'm like, give me more of that. We got to a scene where someone had killed other people and like he has a thought being like, would I kill this person if it means saving other people? But that then makes me someone who killed someone. And I like those like things that are about your moral compass and your morality as a human and what it takes to make you go darker or what it takes to make you go to an extreme. Those are things I love in reading. And so when we get those elements, I really, really enjoy it. I am sick and tired of the jokes, I'm not gonna lie. They're just very repetitive. It's like the same joke over and over and over again. But as I've continued into the story, I've definitely gotten more substance. I am 42% in currently, I think. We're just about to beat the boss of the stairway, if that makes sense to people who have read it. Gonna go down a floor. And I do think the video game element of this is very cool. And I don't know if I would appreciate it. I don't know if I would have enjoyed it without having picked up video games like this. I played a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3 last year and I actually want to get back into it. And I think that's the closest I've ever come to playing something similar to this. But then like last night, me and my friends were playing a new game called Valheim, which you level up your skills like you do in this one. And so like, I do think that is kind of fun to like have that knowledge and that like video game skill and like think about this like I'm playing a video game. Like I am Carl and I am leveling up my fist or the weapons or the magic or like whatever it is. So I do think that is interesting and they have kind of smoothed out through the achievement stuff a little bit. We don't just hear every achievement. We're just like, oh, we got this, 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 and this. And I do like still hearing that we got this in case it comes back in handy later. Like I don't want to just like erase that aspect of it. It just felt very clunky at the start because we were hearing so much of it. But also in a video game, when you're doing the tutorial, when you're starting playing, there's a lot more pop-ups that happen. And then as you continue on, you get like less of them. So that also felt very true to a video game. And I really do think that you can see a video game lover in this story. And I appreciate that quite a bit. I appreciate the characters. I know everyone is like a gigantic Princess Donut fan, and I'm probably gonna say blasphemy that she's not my favorite. So far, I actually really enjoy Carl, which I feel like I never hear anyone talk about Carl, but I like being inside of his brain. I like the moral conundrums that he has quite a bit. I like that he knows that this is what he needs to do to survive easier, but he's like, I can't let these people die. I can't not help them. And I've really enjoyed that so far. Or when something bad has happened in the video game and he's like, it was set up to make me do that. So like, why do I feel guilty? But yet I still feel guilty. Like I've really, really enjoyed being in his head quite a bit. So happy that I'm enjoying this because this is the shock of a century. But also like literally I scroll through Goodreads and all of my friends have given it at least 4 stars. Like there's no one that I know that has not liked this book. So I didn't want to be the first one and I'm so happy that I wasn't the first one. I'm gonna continue reading. I'm actually gonna go hop onto Valheim again, I think, and just do some resource collecting and listen to some audiobooks while I do that. I'm really just here to say that I finished Dungeon Crawler Carl. I really just like binge read that last 50% pretty quickly. I don't have more thoughts on what I've already said. I still stand by the fact that it can get a little bit repetitive, but like those small moments of like character building and characterization and discussions on humanity as a whole, where humanity can go, really, really gripped me. And this book ends on a cliffhanger. So I'm actually hoping that my next roll will let me read it because I read this for objective 2, which was obviously a stretch. I cheated on that one. And then also the roll that I got was to read a book with a secret, and definitely there's like secrets. They don't know anything about the next level, like the next floor they go on. They don't know anything about it until they reach that floor. They'll like receive a bonus, but they won't be able to be told about this bonus until they hit a certain amount of points or like rewards or something. And so it does feel very secretive in its nature. We don't really know fully what's going on. They're not allowed to talk about some things. There are definitely like secrets and conspiracies happening in this, so I definitely think it hit that. Overall, I'm giving it 4 stars. As I said, I might continue right into like a full binge. I think we're gonna play some games for the evening now, and my one goal of the day was to finish this book, so I accomplished it. And I don't really have much more to say besides that it was so unique, and I think that really made a difference for me, and I really did enjoy it, and the video game lover in me did come out a little bit, and I would like to read more like this maybe. I don't know if anything would be able to hit the right feels that this hit, because I don't know if I would like it if it wasn't so unique feeling for me, if that makes sense. Like if I read something kind of similar, would I still like that? Because like something stand out for me in this is just how unique it feels in like the novel space to like what I've already read. I'm not saying there's nothing else out there that has like this similar style. Like lit RPG is a whole like genre and maybe there's something that really fits what this book does in there, because I haven't really explored that very much, or like progression fantasy and stuff like that. But it's very new to me. The closest I've read to it is progression fantasy, I think, which I have read Cradle, and I think technically one of the Spiffbo books that I really liked that I can't think of the name of right now. If I remember, I'll pop on the screen for you, was progression fantasy. But other than that, I haven't read a lot. So this feels very, very new to my reading experience, and that has really worked in its favor, I think. I'm gonna roll, pick what I read, update you again later, play some video games, and drink the lemonade I just made myself. Literally nothing better. Okay, good morning. We ended up playing Valheim last night for a long time with some of my friends, and that was a lot of fun. And today I'm actually probably going to log back on and do just some like resource hunting while I listen to my audiobook, because I enjoyed doing that yesterday quite a bit. It was a really chill game. It's not cozy at all. Like, things attack you, but like you can build a house, and like we've been building ours and putting like signs up for like your base while you hunt and attack things, which I have really enjoyed. And I also enjoy exploring and things like that. So that's been fun. And we used all of our wood yesterday to build our house. So today I think a couple of us are just gonna log on, listen to our audiobooks, and become loggers together. It's fun. I did do my roll last night. Here we go. Give me a big number. A big boy. 7. Okay, I'll take it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A side quest. I ended up landing on side quest 7, so you gotta read through everything or else this won't make sense to you. But not only is the mountain full of guards, but you've done your research, so you know exactly what the worm-like creatures are and how to get rid of them. Go ahead of the group and dispatch the monsters. That's me. I am a monster dispatcher. I've learned in video games I definitely like to be a fighter. I like to have my strength up, and I like to use my brute force a little bit. But I also like the ability to go back. Like, I definitely switch between, in Valheim, I switch between my spear and my bow quite often, but I actually want to learn the bat a little bit more. There's like a club, and I really liked using the club more than the spear, I think. I don't know. I'm still experimenting. I'm still really new to this. I'm still learning what I like to be in games and how I like to like play, but I definitely do like to battle things. Like, I do have fun going out into the forest and finding things to hit, which I was not expecting, but it is fun. I like doing it. I like when I have to be strategic about it too. Like when I took down a troll in Valheim, that was fun. So the prompt for this is to read a book with a creature on the cover. I'm going to pick up Dungeon Crawler Carl 2. I didn't think this was going to work, but then I remembered that both the Kindle version and the audiobook version uses the old covers still, not the new covers. And on the second one, there is both our cat, which you could count as a creature, I think, but there is a little dinosaur-like friend on the cover as well. So that's what I'm counting as my creature on the cover. And so I started this morning, actually, while I was like getting ready and stuff. Also, I haven't put my hair in a bun since it got so long, and I think it looks really good. I'm like really happy. My problem with buns is like I kind of look bald right here because I don't have enough hair that comes from like here. Anyone has any like concepts to like fix that? That would be nice. But I do love when my hair's out of my face, and it's been really in my way today, so I'm happy that I put it up. Okay, back to the audiobook. I'm on chapter 6. Like, I just started chapter 6, and I really am enjoying this one. I'm so shocked by how much I enjoy these books, actually. Like, as I picked up the second one, I was like, okay, yeah, I really liked the first one. As I talked to people about it, I really did enjoy it. It equally like is so repetitive that at times I was like, okay, move on a little bit, or like, let's not say this joke again, but also like so engaging, and I'm so invested. In the start of book 2, we really get their classes really quickly, which is a whole big thing in video games, which I have really been enjoying. I love this. I want a video game that does this. I like that they got to play like a couple rounds. Obviously they're not playing in this game, but they got to do a couple rounds. They got to improve their skills, learn what skills they use before they had to pick their like class and race and change. I remember when I played Baldur's Gate 3, and it was like the first game I had played that had like a system like this, and I just remember being so stressed and like frustrated and annoyed because I had to pick my entire playstyle for a game that I knew nothing about, and it was so new to me that I had no idea what I wanted to play, and I was just overwhelmed. I didn't know what anything meant. I didn't know what I preferred. Like, did I prefer magic? Did I prefer spears? Did I prefer swords? Did I prefer axes? I didn't know, and it was so overwhelming. And I was like, wow, the way they did it in this story would be really well for like a beginner style in a video game, because I wish that I could play a video game, learn some skills, and then choose my class, because I do like the classes. I do like that you get extra extra elements from it. I do like that there's benefits and negatives to it. I think that's a lot of fun, but I'm just always like unsure what anything means, especially if you're a beginner. I'm sure like as you continue to play, you kind of just know, you have an overall idea of like how you like to play a game, but definitely at the beginning I was so overwhelmed. I really appreciate how they did it in the book, and it really also had me invested in like when they're picking their class and their race and stuff. Like I was like, oh, what are the positives and negatives? Why do you have this? Why are you going to choose this? Like I was invested into what they were doing, and I think that that's a sign of a really good book, that I'm invested. So yeah, I'm one of the Dungeon Crawler Carl stans apparently. I'm really enjoying this book, and I feel like definitely my love of video games has affected this. I've said that time and time again in this vlog. I myself am being so repetitive, but I don't think that if you don't love video games, you won't like this either. I just think I have an appreciation for some of this stuff since reading, but I'm also so new to video games. Like I know that I'm not picking up on everything. I'm texting my friend Nikki about it constantly, and she has been playing video games for years, and she's known all these things, and she definitely talks to me in terms of things that I have no idea what is going on sometimes. Like I'm like, I don't know what you just said, but okay. So she's picking up more than I am as well, and I think you just enjoy it on different levels, which I think is such a good sign of good writing. Whether you're new to video gaming, whether you've never video gamed, whether you're an experienced video gamer, I think that this would be a really interesting experience for all of them, and I think that that's really cool. For a book too, like this is a book, not even a video game, but it's fun to see the worlds collide a little bit. Oh, also, I love Momo. I'm a Momo stan. Why y'all talk about Princess Donut when Momo exists? He's so cute. I want him so bad. Ugh. Okay, I have my own Momo, I guess. Look at her, she's so fucking cute too. Okay, that's all I have to say. I'm gonna go listen and play some video games, because like that feels like the ultimate experience for reading this book. I can't lie. Like it's so fun to level up in my skills in a video game while Carl is also leveling up. Incredible. Hello, I have been making progress on Dungeon Crawler Carl 2. It's so hard to say that name, but I wanted to give you a little house tour of like what we've been doing on Valheim, because I feel like I've been talking about playing that a lot while I listened. I am like really far into DCC2. I'm like 60% in. So I have been just like flying through it. It's just like really enjoyable. I feel like this one's easier to read because I haven't like had a lot to think about, like, because you already know how everything works, kind of. I'm not the biggest fan of the side quests, but it's not my favorite thing to do in video games either, and I kind of understand what they're going for in it, and I think I could like the purpose of that later on in the series, because I think that will still expand on, like, humanity and, like, the different things that reality TV does, and I love reality TV, so I also like kind of the discussion on that. It's just been so easy to listen to while I played this game, so I definitely am going to probably finish it really soon while I play, but I figured I'd give you a little house tour, because this is what we've been doing. We've just been like resource management, listening to my audiobook. This is our little house. We have a little sign. It says, if you are a monster, please don't come in, since there are monsters that you battle in this. And then to the right, we have like a little crafting area, and all of these chests are labeled and they have like everything we need. And so literally this is what we've been doing all day, is just like collecting things so that it's all stockpiled. And it works really well. This is the back of the house. There's like a view out a window of the ocean. And then if you go in the house, it is kind of a weird view when you go in. You like go across here, and there's the view that I was talking about that you can't really see that well, but there's the view. And then we have like a little fire cooking station into a chimney. That's our chest for our food. And then we go up here, and this is all of our beds. This is how many of us are playing the game. There's 7 of us. This is my bed. And like, I have a little rug because I care about aesthetics. No one else has a rug, but I do, and I can sleep in my bed now, next to my rug. I like that I just disappear in my sleep. Oh, there we go. Found me again. Back sleeper? Couldn't be me. I'm a side sleeper. But that is literally how we're spending our time right now. It's been so easy. It's been a fun experience to like play a video game while essentially listening to a video game. I've really enjoyed it. I'm probably just going to finish the book now. I probably won't update you until I'm done. Good morning. I'm trying to figure out if I could be like a headband wearer, and I don't think I like it. I'm also testing out a new angle, and I don't think I like it. So today is going well. I have a feeling this headband will be on my head for like 5 minutes, and then I'll be annoyed with it because I can feel it. I'm not a big hat wearer either because I can feel them and I don't like it, and I just want to play with it, but also like Does it make my head look really big? I don't know. I feel like it's not the vibe. Maybe with a different outfit. Like, what if I put a t-shirt on instead of a sweater? Give me a second. I have an idea. Okay, I couldn't find the t-shirt that I wanted. Just like my plain white t-shirt that's like sporty. But I changed into a different sweater and I do think it looks better. This sweater's like less baggy and a little bit more fitted. It's still definitely baggy. But it feels more like the vibe with this. And I definitely am liking it a little bit better. Although I kind of wish this was either black or this was green. I still don't think this is gonna last very long. There's like a piece of hair that's out of it. That's in my zone. How do I fix this? I don't know. This is why I don't try new things. I don't think I like it. I thought I would because I'm a hair tucker. I don't know. Okay, let's talk about books. Yesterday I didn't really update you. Yesterday Nick and me ended up going to sign the papers for our house. Really, Nick signed. I was just there for moral support since he's actually the one that bought the house. I will be paying bills and stuff in it, but he's the one who put the down payment down and everything, and I'm actually not on the mortgage, so I didn't really update you. I hung out with him for the first half because we did that, and then I ended up playing Valheim again and listening to my audiobook, so I did end up finishing Dungeon Crawler Carl 2. I liked this one less than the first one. It had its moments for me. I did enjoy elements of it. I'm still giving it 4 stars. I do think I really enjoy this series. I just felt like it didn't grasp me as much as that first one. I think I didn't like the side quest vibe as much, which is also me in video games. I don't really like the side quests. I'm like, get to the plot of the story. But I did like the Easter eggs I saw on a political conversation happening, social commentary about humans. Again, in this one, I do think I saw more in book 1 than I did see in book 2, but I definitely saw things planted for later on in the series, which has me super excited. So I'm not gonna lie, I want to pick up book 3. It's been so easy. I'm a marathon reader at my core. Like, I love to marathon a series. I love to marathon a book. It's my favorite way of reading. It's my favorite way of honestly doing anything in my life. I hyperfixate on food. I hyperfixate on TV shows. I hyperfixate on games. I hyperfixate on books. And like, marathoning a whole TV show is my favorite way to watch TV. Eating the same thing constantly is also my favorite way to eat food, I think. Not that I can eat things back to back, but like, when I like something, I'm like, it's in my rotation very much. So I just am a marathoner in everything I do, and I think book 3 is calling to me. I do think Princess Donut has grown on me, but I still really, really enjoy Carl's perspective, and Momo is my nickname for our little pet that we have. Momo has my heart, and yes, I gave a character in a book a nickname. What does that say about me? I'm invested. So I did roll this morning so you can see it.
Okay. I need to do my last roll. Theo, you're blocking my light. And I won't be mad if I get all the way to the finish. What is that? 10? How many do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We escaped. That means I have to fit both Objective 4 and Objective 3 for this one, but it is my final book. And we rescued the leader. And that means I just have to read one final book for this vlog, which is exciting but also sad that it's coming to an end. Maybe my hair isn't curled enough. I'm sorry, I had to grab my phone. Maybe my hair is just like not curled enough for this. I don't know. The last 2 objectives, I'm just piling them onto one book. Number 3, you know where she's being held. You know you have reliable information on the layout of the dungeon. It's time to go after your leader. Break the Silent Spectre out and bring her home by any means necessary. Be careful. There may be additional challenges along the way. Read a book with an action word in the title. And then 4, you have arrived at the prison and made it inside. After a few roadblocks and challenges, the Silent Spectre is free from the cell, but can you make it out of the mountain? Read a fast-paced book open to interpretation. Now hear me out. Dungeon Crawler Carl 3, crawler is an action word, right? Even though that's not the book title. Can I stretch another prompt? I stretched Objective 2 so much. I think I'm gonna do it. Technically, I think, what is the title of this one? I never call them by their title. Did you even hear book 2's title come out of my mouth? No. Do you know what it was called? Probably not. Unless you read them, because I didn't say it. Book 2 was Carl's Doomsday Scenario. I called it Dungeon Crawler Carl 2. So I think it counts. Book 3's title is The Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook, ... Dungeon Crawler Carl Book 3. Look. Can you see this? It has it in there.
I think it counts. I'm gonna do it. Who cares? By the time you're seeing this vlog, I've already read it anyway, so what are you gonna do? Tell me I can't read it? Well, I did it. I did it. Okay, we're doing it. We're having a no makeup day because I am just listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl and grinding out in Valheim. What's new? I am obsessed with both of these things, and that is a lot of fun, I think. Our house has changed so much in Valheim. We're building a bar right now, and I think that's gonna look really good. Chris is our designated builder, and he's killing it. As I literally listen to my audiobook and I just become a logger for the day, and I cut down trees to give him the wood that he needs to build me a bar. It's working really well. I like this system that we have. But that means I've actually made it 50% into Dungeon Crawler Carl 3. I feel like I don't have thoughts on this book because I feel like I've said it all, but also anytime a friend texts me and says, okay, so you're liking this, I'm like, yeah. And then I'm really passionate and I tell them everything about the book that I think that no one ever talks about, which is the deepness of this story. And I feel like even I've fallen prey to that. I've kind of talked about how fun it is and how unique it is and how different it is and how like I'm really enjoying the lit RPG aspect and I didn't think I would, and I like it because of video games and all of that. But there is such a really intricate discussion on capitalism in this book. Essentially, the whole story is about capitalism. The thing is, it's not necessarily like when you read The Hunger Games, it's very much the POV of let's take down the system. In this story, since it's more about capitalism than like corrupt government, it is corrupt at the same time, but it's about capitalism. I feel like this is a story about like surviving capitalism, and it kind of goes into the intricacies of like how we got capitalism, why we let it stick around even though it doesn't benefit us. And it's kind of this concept of like, we're just trying to survive and we fall prey and we become part of the problem of capitalism because we excuse our actions in the concept of we are just trying to survive. And I think that that's a really like honest discussion on it, which I really appreciate, because yeah, it's easy in a book to write down taking down the system, but in real life practice, it's a lot harder than that. And that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. That doesn't mean we give up trying. But I do like this honest portrayal of like everybody in the system has a job, and essentially if you're doing your job, you're helping the people at the top get richer, get more success. And the concept of this is like crazy. Like the people that are the crawlers are essentially helping capitalism too, because they're part of like this reality TV show, and by participating in this show you are helping the rich get richer and things like that. And it's just like this really deep discussion, even though like the crawlers, like if you're in that crawler's head, they don't have a choice. My bun just literally, my elastic just broke. So I think that's a sign that I'm talking too much. Okay, like maybe it'll look half okay. I don't think so. I'm just gonna hold it. It's either participate in this game, this reality show, or die. So like in their brains, they don't have a choice. And the things that Carl does, because we're in Carl's POV, as he does actually in some aspect try to beat the system. Sometimes he doesn't, sometimes he does. And I think being in his head is really intricate because it also shows you like he can be good. He can be someone that's like, let's take down the system and does small things, but he also can be quote unquote bad because he's also in it for his own personal gain at times and the gain of his friends and allies. And I just think it's this really like honest portrayal of humankind because we are who we are. Like nobody is pure good and nobody is pure evil in my opinion. And so seeing this whole world portrayed in that way is really interesting, and having capitalism be the pure bad thing I think is also really interesting, because that is in our world too. Like that's bad, and the people in it, I mean obviously the people at top are they're definitely bad, but like the workers in it that are still helping capitalism go, like some of them don't even realize they're part of it. They're just doing their job. Like for some of these characters, this is just their job. They just wake up and they do it, and they don't think they're part of the problem, but they are. And I just think it's a really detailed discussion on that, and it's not as like in your face take everything down. And so I can see why that might not work for some people, but for me it's been like this really intricate conversation on it. And I feel like as the story goes on, we'll get more and more of that story. I feel like you don't get as much in the first book, but I saw snippets, which I said, and I think every single story I feel like I've gotten more on it. And I think that that's really exciting for me because it makes me want to continue more and more. And it's just such an easy audiobook to listen to, like pure easy, put it on, let me cut down some wood and have a good day. Hopefully I will walk you through my bar when it's done. I probably won't update you unless I'm walking you through the bar to like the end, because I just want to put this on. I just want to grind through and I just want to have a really good day listening to it and not have to worry about vlogging and stuff. So that's gonna be my plan for the day. Okay, it felt criminal. As I was editing today's vlog, I saw our old house build and I was like, our house has changed so much since then. We've built a bar, we've built a farm, the workshop is growing. And so, since I talk about this game so much in this video, I really talked about Valheim a lot. I was like, I'm gonna do an updated house tour for you. Cue Sabrina Carpenter, take you to the first, second, third floor. Just kidding, there isn't 3 floors. There's only 2 floors. I have also actually finished Dungeon Crawler Carl 3, so we'll update you about that as soon as I'm done this. And to be honest, I've also started the 4th one. I might take a little break actually though, because they are starting to like meld together a little bit. And this vlog is done with the conclusion of the 3rd one. I have to figure out what I'm doing for next week's vlog still. I actually have no idea. And let me know if you liked this little segment in this. I feel like I talk about video games a lot, and I think it was fun just to show you kind of what we've been doing in them. Or if you hated this part, I guess also let me know, but my feelings probably can't take that. I'm not a brave little toaster. I would like compliments. I just mean to tell me that my videos are awesome. I like compliments. Words of affirmation is my love language, and I cannot take bad comments, and I get really upset by them. I'm just a human. I'm just a girl. This doesn't look that much different than what you saw last time. It looks really dark on my screen, so I'm hoping it's not that dark for you guys. But we have our house. It's still got the exact same sign. If you're a monster, please don't come in. We now have this weird dragon-looking thing. I think it's supposed to be a dragon. And some banners. And this time you don't have to go through a weird crawl space really when you come in. Like, we can fully sit here. This is our dining room table. I can sit at it and have dinner with one other person out of the 7 of us. We can cook food here and look at the little bee farm that we have going, like, while I'm cooking. There's also a workshop that way, but I like that out the window I can see the bees. I think that's really cute. This kind of looks very similar on this side. We have our cooking station with one of the bosses that we beat, and then you go up the stairs to our beds. They all have names on them. And me and Mel have a little corner together, and we still have our little rug. No one else still has a rug, but we do have like a little skull trophy, and I think we should hang it above Lexi's bed. So this is our house. Not much has changed here, but I just do think we improved the layout a little bit, especially without having to crawl now. But if you walk directly out this door, you can see the bar, and this is my like prize. Chris did so good building it, and then we've all done such a good job decorating it. But you walk across to the bar, and the doors are already open and waiting for us, but they do close. We have double doors that close, and then they swing open, and you walk in, and we are in the wobbly stool. We have our potions that are set up to look like mead for the bar. We have tankards everywhere. This is an archery practice thing in the game, but our thoughts were that it was like darts. This is our little cozy sitting area. This also does close, so it looks like a full little bar thing. And then my little sign, the wobbly stool. And if you're a patron of mine, you know that is a throwback. Actually, probably public-wise too. That is a throwback to the bar in Realmathon last year. I called it the wobbly stool, and I thought it was such a great name. But yeah, you can come back here. This is where we make our meads. But I think that this looks so cool with like the sign like that. Little details I love, like the employees only sign. There's an exit sign above the door. And then this is Mel's like mead station, where she cooks it. We haven't really fully figured this system out yet. It's just like what has worked better for like actual gameplay. It's hard to like match gameplay with like decoration. And it took me so long to put these bottles on the wall, but I'm so happy with how they turned out. But let's go into the employees only section, and you will be entering our war room. It literally says the war room. And this is what it looks like. We're still decorating it, but it's been so cool. We have like a throne, another trophy from a boss. These portals take you places. And then we have like our cartography table. And on this side, we've been hanging up like weapons and more things. And I just think that this is so fun. It reminds me of like fantasy books where they're going to like a bar and there's like a hidden room that they have their meetings in. I thought this was such a fun vibe. Originally, we were going to brew up here. And then I think Monica said this should be our war room. And we were all sold on it. And I think it's been such a fun idea. So this is like blew my mind. I know Chris technically just followed a video for it, but it's blown my mind with how like amazing this looks. And as we've decorated it, like the tankards really put things together, and like the bar situation, I kind of want to put stools here with like tankards out here. I think that would be a lot of fun and get the vibe, but we're so early in the game, we're going to unlock so much more, so I'm excited to see how this changes and grows. I can't get over the exit sign. We have a little picnic table out here. You've already seen kind of like this storage area. Nothing has really changed. This is kind of going to be our new little like workshop area, but it's just kind of like impromptu. And then we have a little bee farm over here. We can get honey from it. But then if you go the other way, we're waiting to unlock like better paths, and then we can put like cool paths down here. This is our garbage dump because things don't despawn in this game properly. So we just have a hole for things we don't want anymore as we like upgrade our equipment. But if we go this way, we have a little farm with this cute little fence that Chris made. Like Chris has been doing all our building and it's really incredible. Then we go over to the gate. Here's a little farm. We're still decorating it, but we have like all our seeds and stuff are in these chests. And then we have rows of carrots. Our farming tools are hung up on the wall and like they're still usable. You just take them to use them, which I think is so fun. And then yeah, this is our little farm. Yeah, so this is what we have going. I think next we're gonna make like a shipyard somewhere as we continue to decorate the bar and stuff. If anyone has any like ideas for like buildings we can make, we haven't unlocked that much stuff, but I know that there's a lot to unlock, and I think it's like cute. We're having like a little village here. I've really been enjoying this game quite a bit for both its like coziness and also like I like the fact that we can build and do whatever, and I can spend days just cutting down wood or like collecting resources because we obviously need to like always have resources going. But I also like the way that like I can go out and fight, and there is like a map we are exploring, because like look how little of the world we've explored. But I think that has been like a lot of fun. There's my little house tour. We're gonna move to my actual camera now, and we'll do an update for Dungeon Crawler Call 3, and we will wrap up this vlog together. So let's do that. Dungeon Crawler Carl 3. This is such a hard word name for me to say for some reason. Was my least favorite so far. I kind of found that it was very, very repetitive. I think the whole floor itself was kind of like a loop, and I found myself constantly being like, oh, we've concluded it, to look down and see that I had a lot more hours left in the audiobook. So it just kind of felt like I always was beating what I felt like the floor was meant to beat and never moving on from the floor. Like there was a lot of times where I was like, okay, it's wrapped up, and then I was like, oh wait, no, it's not. So that didn't help me, and I think this one has a very big focus on a character that I didn't really love that much, and I'm missing a character that I really did love. He's kind of put into timeout in this one, and he has some of my favorite moments because he's like another part of this world that isn't a crawler. Well, he kind of is, but it's just like another layer to the capitalism story in this is when I get his POV, because he really is part of the wheel, part of the capitalism structure, but also at the same time you feel for him because you know he's just doing what he has to do for his life essentially that he wants. And I do think that when I talk about this book in terms of like its capitalism story, it's very real, and so I think that sometimes could have people thinking it's on the side of capitalism, but I think it's very clear to me in the story that it's not, and it's a discussion on why it's bad and how we got here, and I think it goes to extremes in some aspects to show it, because obviously in today's society we are not being put on reality TV and forced to kill each other, but the metaphor's still there. The metaphor still works. We're starving human beings who are just doing our best in a society that is not made for our best, and I understand why Carl gets hate because he's not always good, but I think that's so real. What human is always good? What human doesn't make mistakes? What human doesn't say something that we have to say sorry for, that we have to learn from, and maybe we don't learn right away, but we will learn in the future? And I think it's a very real human experience shown, and a real capitalism experience shown. It is still take down capitalism. We are not on the side of capitalism in this book, even though at times I think it can feel that way because we're meant to care about characters who are part of the whole structure. But if you think about real life, we are all part of the whole problem. And I think that is what makes this such a well-written story for me. I could go on about how I think there's so much nuance in how it was written, how things are shown and portrayed, and like how characters are given chance to learn and grow from mistakes they they make in this, from things they say and how they've changed so much as characters. Carl, Princess Donut, they are not the same characters they were in book 1. Some of the things they said in book 1, they would never say now. And I think that that's so honest to humans. Like, we learn and we can't be expected to know everything right away. So like the learning aspect of it, of like the character growth, is so beautiful for me as well, which I really, really have enjoyed. So I've really liked this series quite a bit. I've really, really enjoyed it. This is my least favorite in the series, I think, just because it was so repetitive and I didn't really like the layout of the floor that much. I didn't find it that interesting. It was very much about how trains work and I didn't really care about that. But I'm excited for the next book. I'm excited for the rest of the series. I may take a break. I technically have started book 4, but I'm like, is the problem that I'm binging these too quickly? Do I need to like go read something else in between? Maybe that will help me, even though I'm like such a marathon reader. Sometimes I do need a couple books in between and then to get right back into my marathon, especially because I did 3 back-to-back in pretty close proximity. This vlog has spanned a lot of time. You've seen me play like 3 different video games, I think, in this vlog. Tiny Bookshop, Don't Starve Together, and Valheim, because it's been like 2 weeks or something like that. But literally Dungeon Crawler Carl was within like 4 days. I've literally binged these so quickly. The other ones just took me a really long time. But I had so much fun participating in this. I know I talked about my 5-star audit vlog, which is one of my favorite videos I've ever done, so I'm gonna leave that on the screen for you to check out. And then maybe I'm gonna leave my vlog where I read the Bone season also, because for some reason they're completely different vibes. Dungeon Crawler Carl is more dude bro, but I feel like Dungeon Crawler Carl is the dude bro version of the Bone season's girl fantasyness in my brain. They're completely different, but there's just something that I'm like, I get this comparison. Like, there's rebellion and like, just, I don't know, the vibes I got from each had me so addicted. So maybe I'll leave the vlogs where I read a lot of those on the screen as well, because maybe that's a rec for you if you like one or the other. And I want to thank Mel for having such an amazing readathon that I participated in. I can't wait for it to be back next year. I know she has some really awesome ideas. Obviously, she's been brainstorming with me, and it is going to be better next year than it was this year, and it was already so incredible this year. The announcement video is linked down below in case you still want to do it. You definitely still can. You can still print out the board game and play it at any time throughout the year if you just want to play it before we get next year, because next year does build off of this just a little bit, so you might want to participate. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video and you'd like to leave me an emoji just to say you were here, leave me an eyeball emoji, and have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day.